Too many clicks, too many clicks, too many clicks, too many clicks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and we're here today to check out time clickers and start a new short-running series called Too Many Clicks, where we investigate all of these bajillion free-to-play clicker games that have sort of cropped up recently on Steam, and I'm sure there's a lot of them on like Android and iOS, and I mean, I know there's a bunch on the web. So we're gonna see what exactly they're all about and what they're doing and why. And I figured we'd start with Time Clickers by Proton Studio, because I'm actually a little familiar with their other title that this is based off of, called Time Rifters, which is a game that takes you into different arenas, sort of in like a Portal style, like scientific experimentation environment, and you have to destroy like monsters made out of like proto blocks or something. And in order to beat the levels in the best time, you have to play with rewound like past versions of yourself. So you have to strategically play with yourself and coordinate with replays in order to defeat the levels. So we're gonna find out how it turns into a clicking game. Okay, so here we are inside of Time Clickers, and these are the same sorts of maps and arenas that we saw in the full game Time Rifters with, you know, the same weapons and stuff. And we're being introduced to the different clicking mechanics of the fact that as we destroy blocks, we get little golden cubes in order to upgrade our weapons. So we've got our click pistol here. I forget what this was called in the other game, but basically this would have been like a time challenge in Time Rifters, and you had to destroy moving blocks before they ran off without you. And in this one, they don't really move around, you just have to make sure once we're done getting through all the different tutorial stuff to click within a certain amount of time, or else the blocks disappear and you won't get the money from destroying them in order to upgrade your stuff. So we can actually get a pulse pistol to help us out, which is our automatic clicking compatriot here. And what is this? Idle mode. Oh, I can actually have it auto-aim for me. Well, would you look at that? That's just cheaty. Alright. So the whole idea of a clicker game is that you get these different upgrades to help you click more, and they let you get more and more points, like passively and automatically in the background, until you can create some sort of, like, automated factory system about clicking and murdering blocks and destroying the universe. And that's as far as I've really been able to discern from Time Clickers. Let's actually let idle mode work. So it looks like idle mode will auto-aim for us, which is super duper cheaty. That's just ultra cheaty, I tell you what. Let's add a flat cannon to our auto-fire grouping. So the flat cannon in the regular game was very similar to like a shotgun, except it was kind of like a rapid fire, just shoots a spray of laser particles in every old direction. Then we can also get a spread rifle. Oh, they actually show you the different things as you mouse over them, okay. So these are the same models as we saw in the actual Time Rifters game. So what I'm not really certain of as we go through here, what I'm not super certain of is, like, if there's a storyline going on, is, like, there a reason why we're murdering all of these blocks? I don't think back when I was first previewing Time Rifters that question got answered. And one of the things I feel like a really delicious clicker game needs, that kind of feeds into the story and everything, is you kind of need like a passive story in the background, kind of driving you through this. So one of the first, like, clicker games that I really loved, and it was really goofy and kind of fun to play, was actually Cookie Clicker, which we'll take a look at later in this series after a couple of other games. And the sort of passive story behind that was, you start out selling cookies as just some kid in your neighborhood with the help of your grandmother, and then it starts to turn into some sort of like mafia style, like cookie empire, as you start to hire all the neighborhood grannies to cook all your cookies, and then you hire all the neighborhood kids to be your cookie delivery people, and then you hire like their older brothers to rough up school children for their cookies to resell them at the supermarket. And eventually you start to open up like cosmic time rifts full of dough and chocolate chips, and then you can time travel back to the Paleozoic era and steal dinosaur cookies to ultra resale all the cookies. And you had like cosmic grannies and all sorts of crazy zany upgrades. But so far I'm really just seeing a lot of the same stuff that we had in Time Rifters. I don't know why. It's like I'm missing out on some of the reasoning behind why Time Rifters was kind of cool, where you play with like past clones of yourself. And this one, I feel like to get that same feel, you'd almost need to have like each round, each level that you click in, you'd have to be able to do like a time rift recording of each individual weapon, so that as you're playing, there's like a bunch of other guns that show up on the screen with you, and then start clicking, so that like, you know, there's my green reticle, but there's also a purple one, and a yellow one, and a red one, all helping me murder and click at the same time. This, I don't know if it has the same spirit as the original game. I also don't know, what are these artifacts? Artifacts are time cubes, start appearing at wave 100. Each cube collected gives you a permanent plus 10% team DPS. Nope, that's not what I want. What I'm curious about is, how exactly they're making money off of this, or if they're making money off of this in some way. Because this game's also available on Google Play and Android, and it's, you know, I think it actually might be, one big advertisement for Time Rifters that you see right here, which I could actually see that. Honestly, this is almost like a mini alternate demo app game that kind of goes along with their main game. And I think this is a game that was made in Unity, and this one too, the Time Clickers version of Time Rifters is also made in Unity. So I feel like that's actually not a terrible idea for a little bit of added advertising for yourself, to go about and build a quick, fun, clicky game as a way to advertise your main game. That might not be a terrible way to go about doing it. Even still, though, I feel like this could totally just be an alternate version of Time Clickers, where it kind of gives you that subtle story like in Cookie Clicker, and it goes through and like you defeat some sort of weird, like, oh, there's a rainbow sphere that gives me a whole bunch of points, like in Cookie Clicker with the golden cookies. You could be, like, taken on to defeat, like, this game's version of GLaDOS, or whatever weird dodecahedral alien space sphere is trying to enslave humanity and experiment on you to see the best way to do it. You could definitely do something like that very easily. You just have to, like, get enough upgrades to, like, blast into their lair, and each level leads up to that. That's just sort of what I'm looking for, but it's got all of the hallmarks of a pretty decent clicking game. You've got all the different weapons that you can upgrade into, like here's the flat cannon that shoots like a spray, and then here's the spread rifle, which kind of shoots like in a flat plane, like it's a pressure hose or pressure washer turned into a laser rifle. And then, I mean, I think a rocket launcher kind of speaks for itself. So it's got, I mean, it's got the pieces. I'm just not so sure if it's, like, got enough of all of them in the right places to really feel like a full-fledged clicky game. It's also got some active, like, power-ups you can use, which are kind of neat. You didn't get that in Time Rifters. And then what's this? We got time cubes. Plus 1 DPS. Oh, we have, like, a talent tree. Alright, that's legitimate. I understand that. But we don't have any artifacts in order to unlock, like, specialty specs. So what do these do? We've got multi-team DPS, increases DPS, extra splash damage, extra damage and stuff. What I'd be interested in seeing in like this would be like a really zany, crazy power-up for time clickers. Like, every so many shots, there's like a 5% chance to open up a time vortex, and like a crazy geometric monstrosity from 1,000 years ago comes and like lasers down all of the cubes. So this is kind of like that dimensional rift, but that's just a passive upgrade to your damage. Huh. I don't know, it's there, but I feel like this is, in a way, just a really sort of obvious plug for time rifters, which again, that's fine. I mean, it's free, people like clicking games, it's kind of a... What would I say is like a clicker game's niche? I suppose if I had to like really name it, a clicking game is kind of like a game that you play while you work, that you don't actually have to control, but you can strategically decide what upgrades you want in order for it to play itself your way. And then, like, when you take a break, you can come over and you can click the crap out of, like, all these white cubes which have a little bit more health or something. I don't know. It's definitely a clicker game. It's got all pieces. I'm gonna say it's pretty decent. It's not wowing me, because you kind of need to understand the original Time Rifters game to really fully understand what exactly is happening here. There's just a lack of context to, like, the environments and why we're shooting cubes, which, to my knowledge, I don't even remember if Proton Studio answered those questions in Time Rifters either. I think that was content that was getting added steadily as the game aged. I could be wrong. I think I should probably boot that back up, my copy that they sent me, and see what they've done with it, if anything. Just as kind of like a follow-up review to see if they've added more content, if the new DLC is pretty tasty or not, and see what they've done with the place. Because it was a cool concept. I liked the idea of playing with, like, time-dimensional copies of yourself from, like, past moments of your life in order to, like, overcome challenges. And just, at the time, it didn't seem like it went anywhere, it was just kind of a thing that you did. It was cool, but it would have been nice to have, like, a story unfold before your eyes. Like, even Cube, that game where you had to play with, like, physics of blocks and how they interacted with special colors and powers, even that kind of had a subtle, like, government experiment, alien experimentation story going on in the background, and I wonder if Time Rifters ever got that happening in the background. Because I don't have any context right now, which I would love some context, like why we're killing these cubes, why do we need to click them? Is there some end slate that we're trying to work towards, even if we may never reach it because the game just doesn't have an end? It would be nice to know the answers to these questions. So now I have automatic fire, so I can just... it'll just automatically shoot for me, and all I have to do is click. Or in the case of this, just turn on idle mode, and it'll automatically aim for me. Alright. So, how do I rate Time Clickers? It's a good clicker game. I just wish it had some story elements. I just wish it had some more context that didn't require checking out Time Rifters, which is a game that's pretty cool. I totally recommend that. And you can also check this out for, like, Google Play and, like, the App Store. And it's free, so, I mean, heck, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, you can even disable, like, the particles, or change your crosshairs, or limit the frame rate in case your CPU is freaking out. It's pretty good. I wouldn't really play it a lot, personally. In fact, I've gotten quite bored of it already in this first 15 minutes of replaying it. I think probably within the first 15 minutes of playing it before, but if you like click games, this is right up your alley. It's just sci-fi themed with all these lasers and explosions and time rifting. So yeah, until next time, I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Thanks for joining me for the first episode of Too Many Clicks, where we kind of take a look at what all these games are doing and try to kind of suss out why. And I'll catch you next time. Have a good one, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because that helps your pal Larry out a whole biddly bunch. Bye!